Alright, you know what? Well, I'll check inside. I'm gonna make a 5-minute vid and I'm gonna just 5 minutes long. No particular theme, no particular topic. So far, it seems like it's unnecessary. I have to lower my tone because mom doesn't wake up till 10. I woke up late today also. I wake up till like 5:45, and that's only because Pops was walking out the front door, and I have the privilege of sleeping on the couch in the living room. So, my good friend who gifted me the iPad, the AirPod Pros, that was not just a good gift, but an excellent gift. The only problem is that when you wake up and it's not in your ear and you gotta look for it. Normally on the bed, it's simple. You just, the covers, shake them up or look near the bed, but on the couch, there's crevices. Nonetheless, I don't have anyone whom to speak with, so, and even if I did, I would probably still be interrupted, but this is all allegedly for the internet witness. Whoever's watching, nobody watches. I can't say that. Even if one soul watches, that still counts. So I try my best not to, I've done it in a video past where I put the not the blame, but I was upset at one of my 4, maybe 5 friends, which now that I think about it, it is a lot, so I'm blessed. But I took it down because I realized afterwards that I don't want that to be my legacy if I was to have one. Which that's kind of mundane when you think about it. It's very egotistical to think about having a legacy. But, the ego is essentially part of what makes us, humans. But anyways, let me just check the calendar to see if it's been 5 minutes. It's been 3. All right, I'm home. Usually, as soon as I get home, I can't vacuum. So the first thing I have to do is do the floor. And since I can't vacuum, I'm stuck with this. So I just do large areas. I do where I see like specks of dirt, like that speck of dirt. There's a little speck of dirt. I do it like that. I'll go around until I get, far enough. Yesterday, I made a clean bucket. I usually try to do so after I mop the whole house. But yesterday, I only mopped hallway, entrance, living room, half of the dining room, and the kitchen. So let's go look at the water, see how it is. And you know what? I think if I stay out here long enough, after I shoot this video, not only will I have accomplished my 5-minute goal, but what I wanted to accomplish in those 5 minutes, hopefully it will be prolonged for longer. The water is not that dirty. It does have a shade to it, but that's because I add this to it, so it already has a shade when it starts. It already has like a hue of green when it starts originally. So don't think that it's like, it's not as dirty as it looks. That's what I should say. All right, I got 10 seconds left. That's all I want to make the video of. I'm going to try to stay out here as long as possible. I was already being, how do I say it, confronted as I was walking the princess to school. And I don't want to face confrontation because sometimes there's certain people that no matter, um, you know, you cannot, logic does not apply towards them. It's more like emotions and or their ideology, if it makes sense. So with those kind of people, it's better, in my opinion, just keep your mouth shut and try to walk away because there's, you know, it's hard. It's really hard as a species, even though we were designed for it, to truly listen and then try to rationalize what we've heard and, you know, essentially our short-term memory becomes long-term memory. So what we hear at first obviously goes through that path. We have to, uh, the way I've learned it, either associate it with prior knowledge, which is another thing that I want to try to accomplish, is emptying my cup, whether daily or weekly. That way I could always keep learning and also keep up, because I remember when I was young, and this is how old I am, the Soviet Union was a thing. Um, I used to get nightmares from the music video Thriller. I didn't live here in the States though at that time, but that was the first nightmare I can recall, was the zombies. Um, what else? Oh, in physics, we still had not discovered, quantum physics had not advanced as much as it has now. There was only 3 states of matter at that time. Now there's almost 5. Um, the At a quantum level, the most we knew about were protons, electrons, and neutrons. We didn't know about quarks yet. Um, Let me see. Astrology. What about astrology? Uh, we had never taken pictures of black holes, and that only happened like 3 years ago for the first time. Uh, we Let me think. When I was young, there were a lot of things, obviously, that I still had to learn because I was young, and there's some things you only learn when you get to like higher level education, like which I never got a formal education, and that's why I struggle financially. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of things that change, especially in psychology, from what I understand. Every 5 years, terms get updated. For instance, when I was diagnosed, it was called manic depression. Now they call it bipolar. I think they go with what is most, how do I say it, uh, not relative, but like what is the most, what can be marketed the best, because essentially psychologists, they're like lawyers, you know. Do we need lawyers in life? That's a gray area. If you watch that video with that guy, I'm gonna try to post a link in his video. He always says, and hopefully we'll see it go to court. And essentially, even though lawyers you think make tons of money, they have to have an established practice and a good reputation in order to get to that point. When they start, they're just like starting a business. So psychologists, in my opinion, is almost about the same, because you can essentially go to a support group or a fellowship group or just church, let's be serious, and speak to people whom have had experiences. And I'm sure when you are in a surrounding with, let's say, um, 30 people, right? Which if you go to the average church, there will at least be 30 people in there. There will at least be one person who had something happen to them that is similar to what happened to you. So as long as you know how to actively listen and try to, hear things with an open mind and try to learn with an unbiased form, in an unbiased way, and not have your own um, knowledge of the idea or concept block new ideas from entering your your base of knowledge to eventually accept it as truth. I mean, that's why science has they have the scientific method, so that way all over the world people can do the same tests, and if they get the same results, then that's when we call it a fact, as human beings. But I'm sure eventually everything can change. I know that can change. Anyways, my video has been going on long enough. I'm going to try to do my chores in peace, and that's all I can ask for. Thank you.